You would like to show your designs on 3D, or maybe you want to learn 3D and show your designs to your clients or even selling without making or sewing your samples. So this tutorial is for you. Hi, how are you? I am Denise Afonso, and in this tutorial today I will teach you how to make this simple and basic dress on 3D. The software that I will use is Audaces 3D. It's a software that is very simple to use. I have to let you know that I use several softwares of 3D and I found that these softwares is like very simple, but if it's your first time using a 3D softwares, maybe they can be a little overwhelmed, but don't worry. Today I will teach you how to sew and make like a very simple dress. We will sew these samples, then we will apply fabric, color, and even embroidery in this case. And I want to show you how powerful is this tool. Every day we are listening how important is 3D. It's not only for pattern makers. For pattern makers it's very good because you can try how fits your patterns, but for fashion designers, I think that, or even for technical designers, it's like very important because you can see and visualize how looks and fits your garments. You can see which colors you want to show in your runway or even in your collection, or even if you are a technical designer and you don't know the scale of your embroideries or prints, I think that Audaces 3D can help you a lot. So after this introduction, I want to start with the tutorial video. Perfect. So the first thing that you will see in our software is like two windows. The left window, they will show you our 3D windows that we can see our avatar, and in the right side we have the 2D window that we can see all the patterns that we import from Audaces patterns. If you have Audaces patterns, you can do a click in the button of 3D and they will show up this software with all the patterns, or even you can import another patterns that you have always in the EXF file. So once that we have our patterns, here you can see the shape right in the 2D window, and this shape show the shape of our avatar. So the first thing that I want to do first to start to sew this sample, I want to go to here in the avatar properties because I want to change the hair. Even here you can change like the measurement, the height, even you can change, for example, the pose of the avatar. In my case, I like this pose because I think that it's like very easy to place all my patterns, but maybe for the end pose I will finish in a pose 2, and maybe after that you will find like why I am talking about a second pose, because after to do a play you can tell that my avatar now is changing the pose. So you can decide which one is will be the initial pose, and then you can choose the end pose. After that you can choose like even the size of your avatar, or even you can customize the sizes or the measurement from your avatar. In my case, I only want to focus on the hair of my avatar because I love when I am making the styling of my avatar. I like that the hair or even the shoes match with the garments, and then I will choose shoes. So here you can see all the presets that they come with the software, like so many shoes that even like you can add to your design. So for example, I want to keep this one, or maybe I think that is the flats. I love the flats, and I think that these flats, they can work like very well with the designs that I want to do. So after that, okay, you can change it like even the color. So now that they have the hair and the shoes, I want to move with the patterns. So something that they have Audaces 3D and is very different from another softwares is that here in the right side window that you have the 2D shape of the avatar, you have to place the avatar in the shape, right? So here I will place the fronts and the three gathers that I have. After that, I will select all these 4 pieces, and I will do right click and I will say located in 3D front. After that, they will show up like my patterns here. So the most important thing is like the pattern don't collapse with the body of the avatar. This is like, it's like a very good tip. Even like more when the garment is like more complex, I would recommend you that never the patterns collapse with the body of the avatar. So after that I place the fronts and the 3 gathers. Now I will move and I will place the back with the 3 gathers. After that, I will select all these patterns and I will say show in the 3D windows, and I will say located in 3D back. So after that, they will show up this pattern in the back of my avatar. And after that, I am only missing my sleeves. So I will bring my sleeves very close to the arms of my avatars, and I will select this pattern as well, and I will say located in 3D front. But remember that it's very important when you are using a 3D software that the pattern doesn't have to collapse with the 3D avatar, but at the same time I want that this sleeve has like a more anatomic shape. So right now I will only focus on the 3D windows, and I will select my sleeves and I will do right click and I will choose quick move or shift Q. So after that I will select on quick move, I will make 2 points of my patterns, and after that I will make 2 points of my avatar, and after that you can see that the pattern is placed where I put it these 2 points. After that I will press on shift in my keyboard and I will move with my mouse, and I can give like a more anatomic shape. So for me this is like very important, because after sewing these garments everything they will sew like with no any problem. So I will do the same in my next sleeve. I will make quick move, 2 points, and then 2 points to my avatar, and after that I will press shift on my keyboard and I will give like a more anatomic shape. After that, perfect, I have finish and I place my pattern. So after that we will now we will start to sew my garments. So to sew I have this little sewing machine. So after you do click on the menu of the sewing machine, I have like a straight sewing or I have like multi-sewing. So first I will show you how they works like sewing. So sewing, they will sew one segment line with another line. And it's like very important that you have to see the reaction of the narrows. For example, in this case, it's starting from the inside to the outside. So then I have to do click in the other shoulder and I have to be pretty sure that the narrow of the direction arrow is from inside to outside. And here in the 3D, you can see like how it's like sewing. So I will do the same with my another line shoulders. And after that, I will move now to the front and I want to show how they show in the 3D windows. I will sew the waist of my fronts with the another 3 rectangles that I have, because this one they will create like the gathers that I want to create in this design. And I will do the same of the back. I will sew the waist of my back with the with another 3 rectangles. In this case here I have a point, so I want to delete it. I will only delete it like doing click on delete on the keyboard, and after that I will still sewing line by line. After that I will start to sew the side of my rectangles. So I will sew now my next gathers. And the last thing that I am missing is to sew the size of my front and back. So I am doing it. So only doing click with the left click in the mouse is like very easy, and even like you can see in the 3D windows how it's like sewing. So now I will show you how they works like multi-sewing. Multi-sewings, you can sew different segments like pretty easy. For example, I will start to sew, I will start here to select the armhole of the front, right? So I will do only click, and then I will select the another armhole of the back. After that, I select the armhole of front and back. I will do enter, and then I will sew the armhole of my sleeves, and after I finish I will do click. So you can see how this tool show like 3 segments: the armhole of my front, the armhole of my back, with the armhole like of my sleeves. So there you can see how it's showing it. So I will do the same in my another armhole. So it's like pretty easy, and I will show you. So first you select the armhole of your front, then the back, enter, and then I will sew with my sleeves, and perfect. So now I will sew with the right sewing my sleeves, perfect. And after that you can see that I sew all my garments. So you can use these 2 tools to sew, and for sure this one is like a very simple and basic dress, but when it's like more complex, I have the feeling that multi-sewing for me in my case is my preference to sew, because I don't know, for me it's like more easy. So after that we can give like play, and you can see how it's sewing this garment in my avatar. So after that, like maybe this one, they can be the work of my designer or creative designer. And here, when you go to the Windows properties of fabrics, you have a lot of fabrics that they come with the software, like for example silk, wool, polyfleece, nylon, leather, linen, like denim. You have like so many. So in my case I want to use like linen, but this linen come in a white color. So if you want to change the color, you have to do like right click, and you will go and you will do click on duplicate. After that, I want to choose the physical properties, right? Because I want the physical properties of this dress. This will be a linen. So here in physical properties, you have like different kind of fabric as well. In my case, look at this, how I do click on linen, and they change the physical properties in my 3D windows. Even you can create even like your own fabrics. So really it's like we can do like even like more deep on this tutorial, but I want to keep it basic so you can see how powerful is Audaces 3D. So after that, now I want to change the color of my dress. So I will go to the folder, go up, and I will choose here my linen. This one, my linen, I rename like resort, because the resort is the name of my collection. And here after that, you do click in this linen, you can change like the base color. So for example, now I will select like all my patterns, and I will do double click in this linen that I create, and here you can choose like even you can change the color of your design. So I think that here is like very nice for even like any creative designer or fashion designer, because here you can see how many colors you want for your dress. So in my case, like I want like for example like more like orange red, and something like very helpful about Audaces 3D is like that you can have in one file several files. So for example, here I can choose, for example, I can upload this new file and I can rename, and I can say like color orange yellow is an example. And then for example, if the designer told you like, oh no, I would like to go like maybe like more yellow green, like you can go again to the draping window and you can add this new variation of colors that the fashion designer want to create. So this is a good thing that now in one file you can have several files, and I think that for any creative person who works in the fashion industry, I think that is like very helpful. So after that we have the color that the designers want, and even I apply the properties of my fabric. Now I want to add like embroidery. To add an embroidery, I have to do click on this menu, and here you can see that here you have like buttons, the buttonhole, and even you have like a stitch. But here you have these buttons that they say artwork. Once that you do artwork, the software bring you like several, like for example labels, effect, or even like embroideries that you can apply to your design. And even you can customize, like for example, you can go here to go up, and here to the folder customize, and here you can see another embroideries, or like even like prints that they bring. Is something is very important. If you want to bring your own prints or embroideries, you have to bring it in PNG and without background, right? But in my case, I will use like embroidery that I have here in the software. So it's like pretty easy. I will choose embroidery that I want to apply. And you can see like this like green square. So I will apply here in the last pattern that I have here in the front, and I will do click here in the right bottom side of my 2D windows that is a artwork, because when I do click here, I cannot touch any more the patterns. I can only touch and change the sizes of my artwork. So in this case, I choose this embroidery, so now I can change even the width of the back, or even here in the properties windows you can change the width of the height. So I think that even for any fashion designer or person who is in charge of embroideries or even print, or even if you want to know the scale of your artwork or embroideries, I think that 3D is like very important. And even like see how easy it is to visualize your design. You can apply the fabric that you want, you can change the color, or even now we are applying like an artwork. In this case it's like an embroidery, and even for any technical designer, they can know the width of the height of the artwork or the embroidery, and even you can apply in your tech bags. So I will do the same here now in my bag. I will apply this embroidery again, and after that I want to change the scale of my embroidery and see how it's changing the scale, and you can visualize on the 3D windows, and I think that is like even like very helpful. So this is how powerful is Audaces 3D, because before we used to make like so many examples, right? Like even like these samples, maybe you will use like 2 meters of fabrics and you have to send to do the embroideries, and maybe the scale of the embroidery is not big enough, and you can have like even like you can spend like 2-3 samples only to make and visualize this dress. But now with the 3D, with Audaces 3D, you can visualize like so easy how they looks this dress, right? Even like you can hide your avatar and you can show your dress to your client or even your boss, or even you can upload in your website and start to select this beautiful dress. For sure, we can go like more deep. We can add stitches, we can change the background, we can do so many things. So please leave me in the comments on these videos like which kind of another tutorials you would like to see about Audaces 3D. But before to finish this tutorial, I want to show you how to export your designs. For example, now you will do click on this camera, and here you can see in the 3D captures, you can choose the resolution. So here feel free to choose the resolution. You can choose here the 5 formats like PNG, JPG, or like a video formats. Even you can choose, for example, with transparent background, and even you can choose like the 3D60, and you can choose like how many pictures you want, or even for example if you choose like a video, I will recommend you to choose video speed slow, because if you choose fast it will be too fast, and I had a feeling that doesn't make sense. So it's like more important to do it slow. And even like see how many options you have to export your designs, and you can show it to your client or even in your website. After you finish, you will go to save, and they will start to process this file. So after I export my PNG or even my videos, I will do click again on my folder, and they will show up all the designs that I export. Here I will do like double click because I want to show you how it looks. This one is the PNG without background. So even like now I can create like so many things. So I hope that this small and tutorial show you how you can use Audaces 3D, how you can create your designs, and you can show to your client or even your boss. And I think that you realize how powerful is 3D, because I think that 3D is the future in this fashion industry. So I hope that you like these videos. Leave me a comment on below and tell me like which kind of tutorial you would like that I create on Audaces 3D. Thank you so much, and I see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.